This month will be remembered well as we celebrate the life of Boulder Project, the bouldering gym I've been going to since around May last year. The gym is permanently closed after the 30th, and I didn't go there to see it be open for the last time. I wish I could make this seem more dramatic, but I don't know how I can do that. I did try to go there as much as I could, and 5 days was pretty solid. So was some of the climbing. I did record some clips, finally, but because the gym was closing this month, I couldn't do the thing that I wanted to do for April Fools, and instead I made a different video that I'm actually really proud of. That video hasn't been released yet as of making the script. It is way past that now. And yeah, going to the closing bit. I thought that the closing of Boulder Project was going to be an April Fool's thing, but as time passed and when the day came closer, that idea got disproven very hard, especially with the fact that March has 31 days and not 30, so yeah, it's kind of impossible for that to even happen. Anyways, moving on to the 5th. This was the day where I found out that the gym was going to close by the end of the month, and I haven't gone climbing in nearly 20 days, something like that, before this day, so I didn't try to climb too hard. Though I don't really remember what was going through my head at the time, but I have my journal and some clips that are recorded. The first clip I wrote about was that yellow cave climb that I briefly showed off in February's video. I was able to do the rest of the climb from where I would normally fall off. I just now needed to do the whole thing together. This attempt was my 6th attempt on this climb for this day. The start was really weird, and there was a lot of moving my feet around so I can get to the next hold. The bit I kept falling at was the massive jug in the middle of the climb, basically. I could easily get one hand on it, but I didn't know how I could get my other hand across without doing a dangerous heel hook or cutting loose. It was just that bit that I would fall at. I did 3 more attempts on this before moving on to a different climb. I'll be getting to this climb on another day, but in short, it's a grade 4 slab. I did it, but kind of cheated the top because I was being dumb and I didn't see a foothold that I should have easily seen. I topped that one in 2 attempts with the cheat thing. And for the 3rd climb same thing is going to happen. Got a grade 4 slab on the same wall, I think, and I had a look at this with some other people, but I mostly got the beta from someone else who had already climbed on it before. It was still kind of hard to get, and I was actually shocked when I topped it because that beta is really weird. And somehow I did it in 4 attempts, which sounds like bullshit. And that's all for the 5th. On the 12th, I did some climbing. I did a good amount of climbs, and most of them were quite challenging. The first climb I did was that cave climb again. I only did 2 attempts before giving up because I knew I could do all of the moves, but I just couldn't do all of them in one go. I did find out that I could do something different with my feet at the part I was stuck at, so at least I got that. But I stopped at 2 attempts and didn't close it in case I was going to go back to it, but I never did. I only did 2 attempts on that climb. On the next one, this climb was pretty cool. It's a green 5 and it was quite juggy, but it had an interesting start. I had already topped this before recording because I thought I wasn't going to get it since it looked kind of scary. I had to start facing away from the wall, and the jump looks like it's really hard to get, but it was actually quite simple. And then the rest of the climb was just a bunch of jugs. third climb was a really strange one, and I looked at this with another person. It's a black 5 and a slab. Most of the moves are kind of delicate, and there was this one crimp which I had a hard time getting a good grip on because it was actually kind of small, and sometimes it would just be slippery and I'll fall right off after grabbing it. Eventually I did it, but I didn't hold the top quite well, and I didn't record this one, but I do record this climb on another day. I might bring a clip in, whatever. The fourth climb was really weird, and it felt hard for no reason. It was probably because I didn't know the beta. One of the holds were just really bad to grab on, and I would use that one often, so I never got past that point. The final climb was pretty cool. It's a blue 5, and it's quite slopey as well as pockety. It was quite hard, and there were some pocket hand swaps that were actually kind of pointless because there's a different thing that I could have done. They were really good hand swaps though. I got close to topping it, but I had no idea how to do the final move to match the top hold. And that's all for the 12th. On the 16th, I went bouldering with a friend who hadn't gone to Boulder Project before, and we were there for a bit too long. I only wrote about 2 different climbs, but I did record a bunch of clips, most of them being on the climbs that I had already done. I also found some stuff that would show why the gym was closing. Onto the climbs. I'm going to be talking about the journal stuff before the clips of me doing the climbs that I had already done before. There was this climb on the overhanging wall which was graded a 5, and it was quite a strange climb, but I liked it. I had trouble doing the start, and my friend who was with me figured out one of the really important moves, so that was good. I recorded a clip of this on the 19th. Apparently that took about only 5 attempts to top, and it was only the start bit that I struggled with. On the next climb, I repeated a lot of the climbs, and this blue pocket one was the other one that I read about. It's the same one that I did on the 12th. I took some beta from another person who was also doing it, and getting through those pockets was a lot faster. I didn't need to do any of the hand swaps. I did do this climb near the end of our session, and I could only do 2 attempts before giving up. And yeah, the end bit was still really hard. I just could not get it. I recorded some other clips, but I might actually put them where they should be in editing. Another thing was that after 12:30 or something, the gym got quite empty. All the people who arrived at the opening and the people who were there for the coaching lessons were all gone. And it was pretty much just me and my friend, and there was just some other guy climbing as well. When I noticed that, I saw why the gym could be closing because of the times like that. I often never see that when I am at Boulder Project, but this probably happens a lot during weekends. And that's all for the 16th. On the 19th, there was a new set of climbs in the gym, but it was a really weird set because instead of an entire wall being reset, it was just a bunch of new climbs everywhere, and you would have to look hard to see the new climbs. I touched on a few of those climbs in my journal, and there was this one grade 6 that might have been a bit too easy, though I never really topped it, and I'll get to that climb now. I didn't actually spend much time on this climb. It's actually quite crimpy, and I think it was juggy crimpy. Maybe not at the start, but yeah. I got almost all of the moves right away. I just had no idea what to do to get to the top hold. It's a good hold, but grabbing that top hold straight from that high one is a bit hard to do because I would have to have my right arm fully extended, and that is scary. I moved on to another climb after recording this clip. Before I did that pink climb, I had a go at the new slab, which was only graded a 3, and it was easy as expected. This climb felt kind of tight though, and I wish I recorded that climb to show what I'm talking about. The entire climb just felt like that idle movement where you would sway side to side and your legs or your feet kind of get off the ground for a bit, something like that. Yeah, moving on to another climb. The third climb I wrote about was quite interesting. It's graded a 5, but I think it could have been a 4. This is another climb I wish I'd recorded because there was this one bit near the end where it got kind of scary because the climb makes you stick your leg out really far, and somehow it required a bit of flexibility because my other friend who was there with me tried to do it and he claimed that he wasn't flexible enough for that move. It only took me 3 attempts to top that though. The next climb was just impossible. I couldn't do shit on that. It had a really hard start and I was basically doing something I'd never done before. Moving on. There's this green slab climb that I swear has been in the gym for like 2 months or something. It feels like it's been there forever. I basically just saw someone else do the climb and I just copied his beta in my attempt. The jump up where I get to the black wall to the right and the hold to the left was a bit scary, and grabbing onto that wall isn't very good because the black wall was kind of slippery since there's no hold on that. It's just wall basically. It's like made out of wood and shit, so it's not very grippy as well. But after fixing myself on that, everything was fine. This would have been a flash, this clip, but I had done this climb before, so yeah, it's not really. I don't know where I have it documented, but I've definitely touched it before. And then after that, I did a small bit of climbing on the spray wall before leaving. And that's all for this day. On the 26th, this was the last day I would go climbing at Boulder Project before it closed forever. I had also forgotten to bring in my journal, so most of this day will rely on my memory and a single clip which I recorded, and also that voice recording thing I do at the end of every session. I'll start with the clip because I remember some stuff on that. Throughout the session, I tried to do all the climbs that I couldn't do before. I did top some of them, and the yellow cave one here, graded 4, is one of them. I don't think there's much to say about this because I think I topped this in my first attempt of the day, which surprised me very much. I got every move quite easily, and I did the thing with my foot that I was thinking about in my previous attempts. Also, every move just looked really good and kind of flowy, and it felt very good to finally do the entire climb in one go. Another one of the climbs that I finally got to top was that orange 4 on the 161 wall. Basically what I had to do was just grab the other hold, which was a lot better than the bigger one that I kept putting my hand on. I probably could have tried it again and recorded it, so I can definitely say that I can do it, because if I were to do it again now, I might have a hard time doing it because it was just so weird and I'd probably have forgotten the beta. I had some more goes at that blue pockety climb, but I still could not get that last move. It was kind of annoying. And there was also a new set for the week, but it only looked like there were 2 or 3 new climbs, and one of them was just like a really easy slab, I think. I forgot what the other climb was, and after doing all the climbs, I spent like 15-20 minutes just on the spray wall before I would go home. That session was alright, and I don't think I needed to do anything crazy on my last day of Boulder Project. I'm not a very good climber still, so I can't really do much. And that's all for the 26th. I actually have no idea what I'm going to do after this. The gym is actually closed and their socials are pretty much inactive. It would have been really good if that whole thing was an April Fool's prank, because then the gym wouldn't actually be closed. The whole idea was basically just cope, because I did not want to believe that the gym was closing. I have thought of some places I could go next to keep climbing, because like Boulder Project isn't the only gym here that exists. But I'm just so used to going there. Changing what gym I go to will probably take a while to fully work and part of my routine, blah blah blah. As of writing the script, it's been over 11 days since I've last gone climbing, and I do kind of miss it. I have other things that I do, and my PC has been keeping me hooked in it like it normally does. But I have no idea if an April video is gonna exist. I mean, it probably will. The school holidays are on right now, and I can still go to places. Though school isn't like very soon, like a few days, which sucks. Actually, not really. Whatever. Well, I'm probably just gonna make more creative-based videos, maybe on my life or some shit like that. Maybe like those jigsaw videos, because I do that too. And yeah, that's all for March 2024 bouldering. No more Boulder Project, which sucks. Goodbye.